and that's when I quit my job and I started, learning about cosmetology. And as I mentioned, I had like a lot of insecurities when it comes to my skincare. I kind of worked for Microsoft. And then World Bank IBRD and then Visa. I traveled quite a lot. A successful career in IT. I always had that insecurity. And the sales was like really affected, and initially there will be ups and downs. When a man runs a business, it is so much different for him. But when it comes to women, like, oh, you have to get married and you have to settle, why you want to risk it for a business and things like that. They'll always have this. And whether other people believe in you or not, you have to believe in yourself first. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for giving your time and joining us for today.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah. So let's start this interview, right? Right? Yeah, okay. So it's been 2 years that you have started Geor. Can you tell us what compelled you to start this startup?
Okay, so in terms of skincare, actually I didn't plan my career, at least a full-time career on skincare. Only when I started resolving my own skincare issues, that's when I started thinking like, why can't I make this as a full-time career? Because other ladies and a few colleagues of mine had the similar type of issues. So that's when they started asking me for skincare related queries and advice, and it worked out really well for them. And when they had the clear skin that like when I advised them to use certain products and certain methods to clear their skincare issues, it kind of worked really well for them. So their feedback really motivated me, and that's when I quit my job and I started learning about cosmetology, and I went for a full-time cosmetology course, and then I came back to India and started my own brand.
Acha. You have learned cosmetology in which country?
I actually learned it in Cosmetology Center in US, Atlanta. Yeah, it's a 4-year course.
Acha. So before that you have worked with Microsoft and Visa and other few big companies. But why did you left the job and choose a risky startup over a secure job actually?
Okay, yes, I had a very successful career in IT, and I actually spent almost 12 years in that. But again, it's about, like, as I mentioned, I had like a lot of insecurities when it comes to my skincare, and I had chickenpox scars earlier, and it kind of left a lot of dark spots and scars and too much of acne pits and holes on my skin. So I always had that insecurity when it comes to skincare. Despite my successful career in IT, I always had that insecurity. So I wanted to do something about that to my own skin. So when it worked out really well, I thought like I could build a proper brand on this, and not only for me, it also helped a lot of other people. When they felt like it was really life-changing to them, I thought this would be a good startup or a better career path for me.
Acha. So how many years you have worked for companies like that?
Yeah, it's almost 13 years that I was into IT. I started my career in Logica. Then I kind of worked for Microsoft. And then World Bank IBRD and then Visa. I traveled quite a lot, and my specialty was in cloud, Azure DevOps automation. Yeah, it was pretty successful and it was pretty well.
Wow, so that's great. So if I talk about your personal life, what's your family and educational background, and where do you belong from?
Okay, so my dad was a senior scientific officer in Indian Army, and he was a very encouraging and open-minded person who always helped me to go forward in life and to take chances and to take that leap of faith, and he was very encouraging. And again, I have one younger brother who completed BE Computer Engineering, and later point of time he also quit his IT career and joined my own startup, and he's helping me in my brand now.
So didn't you felt insecure when you left your well-paying job for this startup actually? Have you ever felt like that?
Yeah, of course, there would be time. I mean, there was, many instances earlier in the past, when the sales was like really affected, and initially there will be ups and downs in the startup. You might have thoughts like, okay, whether that I'm doing is good for my future, because like I was in my early 20s, so you should have that assurance, right? Like if you are in
Exactly.
an IT job, of course end of the month you will be always getting the payment, whether you take offs or things like that. But when you're owning a brand, in case of startup, it's all on your head. Like you have to put your heart and soul. Even if you take a long time offs or something, it might affect your brand. Then there will be at some point of time you'll question whether you have taken a proper step, whether is this the future that I really want, or is it secured, or things like that. You'll have a lot of insecurities, but the thing is, you have to be focused, and you have to be confident, and you have to choose, and you have to do things willful, and you have to be really confident, and the boldness.
Exactly. So as you are talking that initially you didn't get any good traction, have you ever felt that I should quit this startup? Have you ever felt demotivated?
Yeah, a lot of the times, and that's the reason relatives exist for. They always have this question like, why you wanted to quit your job and start a business, and they always put all types of thoughts on your head, like, oh, you have to get married and you have to settle, why you want to risk it for a business, and things like that. They'll always have this sarcastic question all the time. They'll be like asking for free products, but at the same time they'll question your products as well, like, oh, why you wanna waste your time in this business or something like that. And it kind of arises a lot of insecurities to yourself, and you wanted to question yourself like, oh my god, whether I've taken a good decision or not, or like, is it gonna be well for me, or should I get married, and things like that. But again, you have to see past all those things, and you have to be confident, because you have taken a decision. So make sure you focus on the good things and the positive side of it. And whether other people believe in you or not, you have to believe in yourself first, and you have to be strong about your decisions.
So out of all this complication, how you motivated yourself? What made you to be so strong actually?
Yeah, again, it's the product feedbacks that I got from the customers. It was like really life changing for a lot of people. The feedbacks that they gave, in certain instances, teenagers have like really cried. In certain instances, they had like so much of pimple and dark spots, which kind of screwed their skin really badly. So when when in initial stage of my startup, I used to call my customers, saying like whether they liked the products, how their feedback was, and how they felt about the products, and things like that. In many instances, it was life changing to those people, and that's when it really motivated me that I should do this and I should go forward this.
That's your motivation actually. So as I know a lot of startups who are doing great job with their product, but when it comes to their sales, and we can see very less traction. But how did you manage to bring a good number of sales to your company? Is there any secret behind it?
Yeah, of course, when it comes to sale, you should focus on the marketing as well. And since I didn't have, fancy investors for my brand, I have to go forward myself. And again, word of mouth really helped my brand. So as a customer, when I use a really good product and it gives a drastic effect on my skin, obviously I'll refer it to my parents or my colleagues or my other friends as well. So initially for my brand, the only marketing strategy we had is word of mouth. So for example, I'll buy the product, and if it was really good for me, I'll suggest it to my friends. So that's where we actually developed. So that was one of our main marketing strategy, and it kind of helped us really well.
Exactly. So a lot of people get startup ideas, but very few people will build it as a successful startup. So from your idea to a startup, how is your journey, and what exactly you did to build a successful startup?
Yeah, proper plan should be made, and you should check whether you have that knowledge to personally handle it yourself. Let's say if you have a partner, if you're going in for a partnership, you should have that proper infrastructure planned first, and financially you have to be very strong, and also the execution of the idea should be well planned, and the infrastructure part of it should be strong enough to support the forthcoming things that you have to handle. And a well planned idea would be always best for a starter, and make sure that you have a backup always, so that you have a safe haven to go through. If something goes wrong, you should always have that backup plan in place, and you have to put it to execution, so that you're not getting into any kind of problems.
Exactly. So can you talk about the challenges you have faced during your initial days of startup journey?
Of course, I had like a lot of challenges when it comes to female entrepreneur. People question your authority, and people will question your talent, whether she is capable enough to run this type of business. And in some point of time, or in some point of places, people will be okay, this is another woman with another skincare brand or a makeup brand, and there are like a lot of people who used to ask me, okay, is this a makeup brand, or you're a stylist or an artist? And they think when it comes to women running a business, okay, she's gonna be doing all this makeup related tutorial. They don't take you seriously. That's the main thing. So you have to prove yourself that you are strong enough to run a business, something like that, and you can handle such a big environment and infrastructure, and you should always have that commanding power. When it comes to men, they'll think very differently. Okay, this is a strong entrepreneur, so you can trust them, whether it comes to funding or whether it comes to providing them with certain things. When a man runs a business, it is so much different for him. But
Exactly.
when it comes to women, they always question your capability and your talent, whether she is capable enough to run this business. And sometimes they'll think like whether it's really your brand, whether you have built it or not, and things like that. So you have to be serious, and you have to take a stand at some point of time.
Exactly. So on this note, till this day, did anyone told you that being a woman, can you run this company, you better do something else? Have you ever faced such situation?
A lot of time, like including my parents, they are always worried about your future. They'll say like, why you want to take this much of stress, and why you wanted to take this much of pressure? You can just get married and get settled. And if it is an IT job or a 9 to 6 job, it's nothing of certain risk, and even the pressure is low. And even at certain point of time, like I can't say I was humiliated, but there will be like a lot of questions. Okay, this is a woman, including my colleagues or the people who are working for me. Okay, should I really have to listen to her, and things like that. So you have to get hold of yourself first. You have to daily talk to you. I can say, like, you have to motivate yourself, saying like, I can do this and I'll be successful. And you should take yourself seriously first, in order to let others think that you can do this.
True. So till now, how many products do you have in your brand?
Almost 30, and we have like a lot of combos, and Geor has one of a kind facial soap in it, and which really helps to motivate youngsters. And our customer base is more towards the facial soaps, and we almost have 30 plus, and we have recently launched hair care products as well. So almost it's 30 plus, and we are counting.
So this is one thing. Being a woman entrepreneur, it is an advantage or disadvantage for you?
I can say it is advantage, and at the same time disadvantage. When you take one step, people will pull you back 2 steps. So you have to push yourself, motivate yourself daily. When people say that I cannot do it, or people always tend to discourage women entrepreneurs. So
Exactly.
which actually motivated me, and which actually kept me going till now.
there are very few women into entrepreneurship. So why do you think it's happening actually?
There are very few women into entrepreneurs because they don't get proper motivation, be it from family or friends. There are at certain point of time where they feel like demotivated, so they tend to drop their ideas. But it's actually the motivation that is lacking. But again, we can see it's not like how it was 10 years before. There are a lot of entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs who are developing, and there are female CEOs. I think we are being recognized more and more each day.
Yeah, exactly. Recognition is more when you do great job actually.
Exactly. When your ideas are really good, and when people think that you are capable of running a business, or you are capable of doing stuff, they actually encourage you to go forward.
So, one thing which you have learned about being an CEO of the company.
One thing which I have learned in being a CEO is that you should really hear your customers and your subordinates. Like when people have something to say, you have to really listen to the reason. Like let's say if somebody is saying something about your packaging or things the way that are being executed, you should really listen to them, so they can see certain things which you are unable to see. So that's where the success of the company depends.
So there are a lot of negative and positive reviews, right? How do you exactly look at it? If you get any negative reviews, how do you manage to turn them positive? Have you ever faced a situation you are getting negative reviews and all?
Of course, always you will get a lot of negative stuff and also positive stuff. But you should really focus on both the things. When you're giving, when your customers or subordinates are giving really good positive feedbacks, you should take that as a compliment. And when there are negative things, you should really acknowledge those things as well. And you should, try to work on your flaws. That's very important for any startup or any people who are planning to, launch a brand or create a business. Focus on the negative things, try to work it on, and make sure that you get a lot of feedback if you're launching a new product, or if you're going in for a new application and things like that. Ask people what they think about it and get a lot of feedback. So it could be positive and negative. Positive things you can take that as a compliment. Negative things you have to see what is wrong with that and why they are saying things like that. So you have to work on the negative things as well. It's very essential for any entrepreneur to do that.
Exactly. So any suggestions to the budding entrepreneurs who are passionate about starting their own startup? Any suggestions to the budding entrepreneurs who are passionate about starting their own startup from your side?
Of course. So always make sure that you have proper savings when it comes to financial investments and things like that. You have to make sure that you have a proper backup. That's very essential. I keep on saying about backup is few people tend to without thinking they'll launch certain things, and when it doesn't go well, it'll hit them really hard. So you have to prepare for the worst, which is very important. See, compliments, people can give us a lot of compliments and there will be a lot of profits initially as well. But you have to think about stages where you don't get sales. There could be zero sales. You should have proper financial backing up. You should be able to pay salaries to your people who are working for you, and you should have that proper rapport with your people who are providing raw materials and things like that. Always have a plan in place. Always make sure that that plan is executed properly. Make sure you see things what is going to happen in the future and plan it accordingly.
True, that's very great. Yeah, it's nice talking to you again. Your words are very inspiring to a lot of entrepreneurs, and the work which you have did is very great.
Yeah, thank you so much for providing me this opportunity, and it was really it's like revisiting my past and things like that. Thank you for providing me this opportunity.